Hello, I'm Kelvin Cunningham, M2341212, and this is my T156 behind the scenes movie for the main movie. I chose to try to produce a commercial, a promo for my company Innershed Solutions, and I'm trying to base it in the genre of the large department stores that put commercials together at this time of year. The idea being to produce a story, and it's not until the end that you really find out what's behind it and the reason for it. The idea in principle is good, but the reality is probably something else. It's taken an awful lot of time to put together the exterior shots that I needed to do for this, and it's taking quite some time to do the interior, to try and put them together in a way so that the two actors, the two characters in the movie are able to interact with one another. Having done all that, I have also found that it's editing that takes the time. I know we've had experience of editing in the previous films, but it is really interesting trying to get the action to fall in place with the soundtrack. I found a beautiful piece of music, or what I consider to be a beautiful piece of music, to act as a soundtrack. There's no dialogue in the movie. I'm not a great fan of dialogue. I think you've got to have somebody who can actually act to be able to do that. Well, most people can do some sort of character work. Occupying 3 minutes in doing this is quite interesting as well. The vast majority of the stuff that you see on the TV now, particularly around Christmas, lasts for about a minute or so. And in one case, the particular animated movie cost £7 million. I don't have £7 million. Technically, I'm using a Canon Canon XL HD1 camera with an onboard mic on a tripod generally. I try not to do too much in the way of freestyle work, as it were. Prefer to have it on a tripod, make it a bit more stable. I try and overproduce material that I'm going to use in the movie, and so that it gives me as much choice as possible from an editing point of view. I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro CC7. I downloaded it and I've got this subscription going now for a month at a time, blah. And that works quite well for me. I really quite like Premiere Pro, but I think I'd like to be able to do a course on Premiere Pro, because clearly I'm not using all of the functionality that's available to me. I spend an awful lot of time looking on the internet at tutorials on how to do various things. So if you look at my film, whether or not you like it, it will always be fairly simple in terms of the way it's cut and the way it's edited. This behind me is my editing station. I'm lucky enough to have a little bit of room in my office in the shed here, shed at the bottom of the garden, to be able to work in a little bit of peace. It was built originally as a music studio, so I don't get a lot of sound coming in from the outside. And in fact, I'm recording this on the day that we've got the high winds on the Thursday the 5th, I think it is, and it's blowing around about 50-60 miles an hour outside. We can't hear it in here at all, so I'm really quite pleased about that. I've really enjoyed looking at the movies that other people have made. Some of them inspired. I'm struggling to remember the name of the lady, but the one that the lady that produced the tutorial on ironing inspired me absolutely to do a movie. It's a very short movie about me coming home and getting my dinner, etc. So yeah, it's some of the stuff is really quite exceptional. Innershed is a number of companies, but the reason I'm doing this particular course is that we like to, or are trying to, set up a solution whereby we can stream live events to the internet. The sort of thing I'm talking about are gigs for bands, etc. And some of the bands around here have got a fairly large following, so what we're doing is streaming it to the internet, and we've put in place a pay-per-view solution so that people, if they can't get to the hall or to the venue, can play a very small amount of money just to cover the costs and watch the band that they really like. If you're interested, you want to take a look, it's www.iasevents.com, iasevents.com, and there's a link on there to a clip from a gig that we did well, about 6 weeks ago now. I think that's probably all I need to say. Hope you guys have as much fun, or have had as much fun, putting your movie together as I have.